Hello everyone, welcome to my 100 most popular algorithm series. I'm back with another video. In this video, we are going to take a look at lead code problem number 34, which is find first and last position of element in sorted array. It is a very popular question, as you can see the number of likes, and it's a medium categorized problem. So the problem statement is quite straightforward. We're given an array of integers. The array is sorted in ascending order, and we are told to find the starting and ending position of a given target value. So we're given a target value. It's a sorted array of numbers, and we need to find the position of the target. So if we need to find two things: whether this target exists, and if it exists, we need to return its starting and ending values. If the target is not found, then we need to return -1 -1. Cool. So the follow-up part is, could you do this algorithm in O of log n runtime complexity? So in this solution, I'm going to attempt this solution. Now, whenever there is a log n or logarithmic runtime complexity, you always need to think of like a tree-based approach, or you need to. The binary search is also like that, right? So let me explain how that solution will work. Here, we have the same array, which is there in the first example. Now, the way binary search works is it only works on the sorted array, right? So the binary search, the way it works is we need to cut the array into half. So we always start with the mid position. Let's say in this array the mid is, actually there are two mids, but you can take any one. So let's say the mid is this. Now we match whether the element that we are looking for, which is 8 in this case, is matching this mid. Let's say mid is here. Now if it is matching, then obviously we can take some actions. If it is not matching, then we can basically, we have two decision points. We can either move left, like we can reduce our search space, we can move left and search in this half of the array, or we can move right and search in this half of the array. Now in either case, the array got reduced to half, right? And similarly in the next iteration, the array will reduce to even further, like a quarter. So that way, the search space will become shorter and shorter pretty quickly, and that's where you achieve this O of log n runtime complexity. So that's where binary search helps, right? So our task is pretty simple in this case. What we need to do is we need to perform binary search. So let's say we are at the mid, the 7 is not equal to 8, then we'll basically move to the right because the 7 is less than 8, so we need to search in this half. So the first task is, we need actually two binary searches. The first half, in the first binary search, we'll find out the first position of the target that we're looking for. So there are two ways, right? So by any chance, if we stumble onto this while doing the binary search, we will not stop at that point. We'll move forward until we find the first position of the target. And in the next binary search, we will start our search from this particular point and then till the end of the array, and we'll try to find the last occurrence of the target. So there are two binary search that will come into picture. So right, that was the high level approach that we're going to take. So let's begin the coding of this problem. So as always, we'll first do the sanity checks on the inputs. So if we do not have any array, or the length of the array is less than or equal to 0, then we do not have anything, so we'll just return none. Great. Now, as I mentioned, we need to perform binary search. So in binary search, there are typically start and end. So we'll start with 0, which is the start. So in first binary search, we need the entire array is our search space. So we'll start from 0, we'll end at the length of num. So those are the two indexes, start and end. Now in binary search, we need to continue while these 2 points, this and these 2 points, like start, this start is currently pointing here, end is currently pointing here. We need to keep moving till start exceeds end, right? That in that case we know that we've actually searched, we've completed our search. So that's a condition. Now in every binary search we need a mid, right, from where we will do the current check. So that's what we're doing here. So that this is a typical binary search mid calculation. So we'll divide basically end minus start by 2, that's a mid, but we need to offset start also, because we could be anywhere in the array, right? We will not always start from 0, we can be anywhere, so we need to offset start also. So that's where you find the mid. Okay, so we are at that mid location. Now our job is to basically check if mid is equal to target. So if the number at mid location, if it is equal to our target, okay, let me take a step back. There is one step that we missed. So here I'll just have like a -1 as our output, and I'll return that. I don't want to return none because that's a that's not really the output that they are expecting. The program could crash. So just to be sure, I'm using this -1, which is a negative. Like if the target is not found, we need to return that. So I'm just using that negative case. I'm just returning it from here. Cool. So coming back to this logic, so if the number at the mid location is equal to target, now there are two scenarios here, right? So as I mentioned in that explanation, that we are not supposed to stop at any target location. We will stop at the first target location. That's what we need to find out. So here that check we need to perform here. So what we'll do is, if mid is equal to 0, so we already know that the number is, we have found the target, but we need to check whether that it is the first occurrence of the target. So if we are at the 0th position, that means it's a first occurrence. Or if one element prior to this mid, if that is not equal to target, that we know for sure. See, in this case, the previous element will not be equal to this, right? So in that case also, we are sure that this is the first occurrence. This particular is the first occurrence of the target that we are looking for. Now if both of the scenarios are true, if any of the scenarios are true, then what we'll do is we'll just store this position in the output, because that's what we need to do, right? We need to store the starting position here. So that's what I'll do. I'll just take this output. In the first position, I'll store mid, which is the first occurrence of the target, and I'll break the iteration because I know I've done my work for this particular binary search. Okay. Now if that is not the case, if this check gets failed, then what we need to continue doing the binary search, but before we continue, we need to reduce the search space by half. So for that we need to write two conditions. So we'll say, if number is less than equal to target, if the number that we're looking for is less than equal to target, for example this, right? So if the number at mid, let's say we've encountered 7, if it is less than equal to target, we need to move rightwards. Okay. Yeah, but not for equal case, because if we stumble onto here, let's say, in that case we actually need to move leftwards if it is equal to target. So I've just modified that check. If the number is less than the target, then we know for sure that we need to go to the rightwards. So in that case, what I'll do is I'll adjust my start, because whenever we want to go to the rightwards, we have to shift. The start is right now here. We need to adjust the start so that we can, and the end will still stay at its current location. So I'll adjust the start to mid +1, because we need to start searching from this location, which is mid +1. Else, like any other scenario, if the target was equal but not the first one, or the target, I mean the mid, it was equal but not the first one, or the mid was greater than the target that we're looking for. In both the scenarios, we need to reduce the search space. We need to go leftwards, right? If the mid was here, let's say, we know the target is on the left side of the mid, right? So we need to go leftwards. So in that case, we need to adjust the end. So end is equal to mid minus 1. Okay. So that was the first binary search that I spoke of. Now at the end of this binary search, two things can happen, right? Either we found the first location, the first occurrence of the target, or we did not find any target. That is also possible. So we need to do that check here. So if the output of at the 0th location is still equal to -1, right? Because I set it to -1 initially. So if it is still -1, which means I have not found the target, then I'll just return the output. So I'm taking care of this negative cases. So then I'll just return the output, which is this. Okay. Now if that is not the case, if the number was found, then I'll do the second binary search in order to find the rightmost occurrence. So again, my start this time will be this. So I'm reducing my search space because I know that the last occurrence cannot be ahead of the first occurrence, right? So I need to start my search from this location, and the end will still be the end of the array. Okay. So now the same thing. Yeah. The same thing. I better copy it from here. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we found the mid. Now here what we're looking for is the last occurrence, right? So again, we pretty much have to do the same thing. If the number is equal, let's say if the mid was equal, then we don't have to stop there, but we need to check for a special condition, that if this is towards the end of the array, right? That is the first condition, that if mid equal to length of nums -1. So if this was the end of the array, then we know for sure that there are no other elements on the right hand side, so that must be our last occurrence of the target that we're looking for. Or if the mid is not at the end, if mid is somewhere in between, then what we need to check is if the next element of this mid that we have found is not equal to the target, right? So if let's say mid was here, and then we know for sure that the next element is 10, so this has to be the last occurrence. So then in that case, what we need to do, we need to say nums of mid +1, which is the next occurrence, if it is not equal to target. In both these cases, we know for sure that we have found the answer. So we will store it in the second position in the output array, and we will break. Okay. If that's not the case, if let's say if the mid was equal, if the mid was equal to the target that we're looking for, but it's not this, then in that case, what we need to do is we need to continue our iteration. Okay. But we know for sure that the item that we're looking for is on the right hand side, because if the mid was equal but it's not this, then we know, let's say if we stumble onto this particular location, okay, we know that let's say this was not the last occurrence, then we know the last occurrence is somewhere on the right hand side, right? So then we need to start our search space on the right hand side, which means we need to adjust our start. Else, if the number was not equal to target, which means the number would have been greater, in that case we need to reduce the search space. We need to move search to in the leftwards. So we'll adjust the end in that case. So after this second binary search, we know for sure that we must have got our output answer in the output array. So we'll just return that. Yeah, I think that's the code that we need to write. Let me try to run this. Yeah, it worked. It worked. There were no compilation issues. Let me try with a negative case. Yeah, it worked too. Great. I'll just submit my code. Yeah, it was accepted. All the test cases were passed. Great. So that's how you solve this problem. I hope you like this coding challenge. Stay tuned for more challenges like this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.